kind of changed our philosophy down here. We're trying to improve the quality of life for the animals that are coming in here. And we're bringing in volunteers to help us do the things that we cannot afford to do. We don't have the manpower or the resources, but with the volunteers and the donations that are coming in, we now have, additional play yards for the dogs. We can get them outside, get them fresh air, makes them more adoptable because they're not as anxious and barking, and they seem a lot happier. We've improved the quality of the veterinary care we do. Because of donations, we can purchase Bordetella vaccines, leukemia tests, heartworm tests, parvo test kits, just a plethora of medical supplies that we didn't have before that we have now, all based on donations only. They pay for that. Medical surgeries that we do. We fix broken legs. We treat heartworm. It runs the gamut. So we're able to do all these things because we have the volunteer resources to get them to and from the vets for us. We have the donation account which pays for it, and we certainly have community support that's saying, yeah, we want to see animals that go into your shelter taken care of, and then they're taking that message to the Ingham County Board of Directors as well, the commissioners, and letting them know that we want a shelter that's run the way you're running it now, and we want it to continue on that path. So that's great. We're doing what the people want, and most government agencies, strive to do what the people want them to do. So that's what we're trying to do.
And what made you want to volunteer out here?
Because I wasn't able to find a job right now in my field, and I was really bored at home. So it was a chance to meet new people and play with the animals. Every day I get to play with cats if I want. Nobody's telling me no.
We're an open admission shelter. Any animal in Ingham County, we admit. Whether we have room or not, if it comes through the door, we are tasked to accept that animal, which means we have to look within where we can find the space. And if that means having to put an animal to sleep to make room for that, by law, we have to take that animal in and we have to hold it for the legal amount of time. We've been very fortunate because of our real proactive efforts at mobile adoption events where we take the animals out every weekend to a multitude of locations, that we're moving the animals a lot quicker. So the predominant, with dogs, we mostly, the reasons we euthanize for dogs is non-rehabilitatable animals. That means animals that are extremely aggressive. They are not safe to put back in the community. Or animals that you just can't fix everything. And that does happen. We get dogs in here that are pretty bad and they're just not rehabilitatable. However, on cats, we're not anywhere near where we can just say that we only euthanize cats for those reasons. The cats are coming in from April until September. They're coming in by the dozens. We could get 30 in the front door with citizens bringing them to us, or we could get 100 in the back door by an officer who just seized a house full of cats. So the cat problem is still a huge problem. So right now we're doing a lot in the way of spaying and neutering. We have a feline fix-it program, and people can get their cats fixed for $20 for male or $25 for female. A heck of a deal, and they get vaccinated at the same time. And that's also based on donations. We have a donation account so people can donate to the spay or neuter fund. And we believe that truly the only way you're going to fix overpopulation of cats is spay and neuter. So that hopefully will get better. And we did see a reduction in cats last year. Not a huge reduction, but we did see somewhat of a reduction in the cats coming in last year, which is a success in itself because every shelter in the United States saw a drastic increase in the number of cats and dogs coming into their shelters as a result of the economy. We actually had a slight decrease, and that's because we have several programs to help people keep their pets, from vaccinations to spay-neuter to the food bank. Plus we're proactive in the community. We bring the vaccinations to the low-income neighborhoods to make sure those people have those vaccines, and we provide some minor vet care. We have veterinarians donating their time. So a lot of these programs had really helped in the long run, and they'll continue. We'll be a really fine community for showing people how to bring pet care standards up so that you really don't even need any animal control eventually. So that's what we're doing.
What kinds of things do you need people to do?
Everything from washing windows to walking dogs, socializing with the cats, office work, transporting, helping out on our programs that we have off-site, our rabies vaccination clinics. So a wide variety.
Do you have an expanded mandate as well? Because if anyone witnesses animal cruelty, has concerns about neglect,
Yes.
they can contact you on a confidential hotline.
Yes, we have a hotline. It's 517-676-8376, and they can call and just leave a message. And it does ask you to leave some specific information as to identification of the person who is the perpetrator of the abuse, a car ID, an identification of the animal. So be very specific. Anything you saw, please try to write it down as quickly as possible and get that information on the tip line. We get some wonderful tips. In fact, I mean, just this week alone, we've had dozens that have led to some really sound cases where these animals need to be seized. We would have never known about them. They were so well hidden, we would have never, ever discovered them had it not been for those tip lines. So we're really pleased with the results we're getting off that.
And it's more than just dogs and cats in that case. It can be horses,
It's all animals,
it can be, yeah.
Sure, goats, rabbits, ducks, I mean, you name it. I mean, it runs the gamut again. And horses, fortunately, we haven't had the problems with horses that other communities have had. We live in a community that people take care of each other, it seems to be, but we do get those occasional horse, and cows. We get a lot of cow complaints, yeah. They were just talking about one earlier, yeah.
And every once in a while you get threatened with budget cuts, and you're hoping
Yeah,
that doesn't
every
happen.
week.
Every week.
Every week. Every week.
Why do you think? I'm really surprised by that, to tell you the truth, because it seems to me that that would be the one place people wouldn't want to cut. They must know.
Well, the
that-
people don't. The people don't. They made that pretty clear. The people don't. But the commissioners, they have to look at every single department. And how can they save one department and justify that against another department? How can you compare us to the health department, the sheriff's department, child abuse prevention departments? I mean, it's hard to save animals when people are saying you care more about animals than you do humans and stuff. But people can become very passionate and very vocal when it comes to the animals, absolutely. And people who donate and volunteer at animal shelters are voters. They're registered voters. They are.